So why did I just buy a brand new camera that was released 7 years ago instead of literally anything else that's come out since? Well, let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Olaf Blamaris, and I've been working in the film and visual effects industries for over a decade now and use some of the most expensive camera systems out there, but still fall back to what is probably one of my favorite cameras ever. And this video is going to be a quick breakdown of why in 2025 the Pocket 4K is still worth your time, attention, and money. In April of 2018 at NAB in Las Vegas, Blackmagic Design announced the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, a 4K capable micro four thirds sensor camera with 13 stops of dynamic range for $1,300 USD. And over 7 years later, it's still an amazingly capable camera that's only been getting better over the years with steady software updates from Blackmagic. Can't say that about many other 7-year-old cameras, can you? Pretty incredible that this guy is still going strong. So let's talk about why this camera still deserves a look at in the landscape of cameras today. Here's the good, the bad, and the ugly. A lot of new cameras have hit the market, and honestly, they've gotten pretty great. The Canon C50, the Nikon ZR, priced at $5,000 and $3,000 Canadian respectively, have features many would have paid thousands more for only a few years ago. But the Pocket 4K has not only held its value well, and is still only $1,500 Canadian, even less if you think about the $450 Resolve Studio license it comes with, but its quality to cost ratio is fairly unmatched. Internal 4K B-RAW and now ProRes RAW thanks to a software update. Now, don't misconstrue what I'm saying here. I'm not saying the Pocket 4K is equal to these cameras or even older cameras, but at a fraction of the cost, it can very much deliver the quality almost anyone needs for a wide range of projects. From day one, I've been impressed with this sensor. It grades effortlessly. Its highlight roll-off is amazing. It's just wow. Now, I'm not naive, there are better sensors with more dynamic range and less noise, but at 13 stops, this guy's no slouch. I'd happily make an entire film with this camera, and honestly, probably will, because it's starting to feel like that's the only way I'm ever going to get to make a feature, but that's for another story. But this 7-year-old sensor holds up with the most popular cameras any day. You'd be hard-pressed to argue that what it produces is not great. Now, I don't often shoot multicam setups for a variety of reasons. It often means more rigging, more media, more storage, more operators. It usually takes more time to set up the lighting for multiple angles, and not to mention camera packages, especially when you're shooting, say, the likes of Ari, are already pricey and producers don't usually like to spend more money than they have to. So affordable multicam can be a great way for getting coverage in a single setup, allowing for options in editing, continuity between shots, and generally save time by recording twice as much in a single take. And that's exactly what I hope to achieve with this new addition to the family. It's also always a good idea to have a backup camera on your shoots, so in a way it can double as that too. Another luxury of this affordable little beast is multiple recording formats. You can choose between recording to a high-speed SD, compact flash, or even a full external SSD. So you have your pick, whether it's long-form, handheld, or light, or just based on what you have readily available. It's nice to have options. It would be nice if these allowed for multiple backup recordings, but sadly, it doesn't. Navigation and ease of use, no other camera even comes close in my opinion. It's easy, quick, intuitive, and well designed. Changing audio inputs or resolution, codecs, you name it. My biggest gripe with most cameras is usually diving through endless menus to get even the most basic of settings. Even from the main playback window, you can do a ton. Formatting cards, adding metadata, custom buttons are easily mappable. It really just can't be beat. Not only that, but their companion app is incredible for extending your ability to control the camera when getting behind it may not be possible or easy. Finally, to think a camera that's 7 years old is still getting new features, like the recent addition of ProRes RAW, before that adding vertical shooting support, the ability to use it as a webcam, more and more, simply adding to the life and usability of this camera. It's great, and you don't often see this level of support at this stage in a camera's life. Okay, the battery life is straight up terrible, like laughably terrible. You get, on average, 20, maybe 30 minutes per one of these guys. I have a small collection of whatever these batteries are called with a variety of capacities, but to be honest, It's perfectly fine for run and gun stuff where you're not constantly running the camera and it's a lot of on and off as you grab clips. When I need to have extended battery life, I'm running V-mounts that power not only the camera but also the monitor and the follow focus, and then when I'm recording YouTube videos, for example, I generally have it plugged into constant power. So the batteries, while on their own suck in comparison to pretty much anything and everything out there in camera land, they haven't limited me in how I use it. MFT, while not the worst, is certainly not the best. It just forces you almost certainly to need some sort of adapter right away. I know I immediately bought the Metabone speed booster for my original Pocket 4K as I didn't want to invest in any Micro Four Thirds mount. At the time I was still shooting Canon for stills, and just generally speaking I found myself renting or buying lenses that were either EF or PL, so it made sense. The speed booster can come with the added benefit of reducing the murderous 2x crop factor of the sensor and putting it to a manageable 1.5 instead. Just be careful as the speed booster adds a stop of light, which unfortunately makes the widest open aperture smudgy and unusable. Nothing really groundbreaking here. The screen itself is great, but it doesn't tilt, flip, rotate, or anything, so seeing it when you aren't straight on or at an odd angle can prove a bit tough, and it's not very bright, so being in direct sunlight is going to make things a little more tough, but okay, a lot tougher. There are definitely workarounds with some post modifications or using an external monitor, but in general, not great. So while you can just toss a lens on there and call it a day, this camera definitely calls for a rig to truly make it as functional as possible. Now, I know almost all cameras end up with some sort of rig, but this guy needs a little more than others. Tilta makes an excellent cage and rail system that makes it easy to mount a monitor, rails, V-mount, follow focus, and generally whatever you want. Being quite literal here, I hate the design of this camera. Mostly how wide it is. Everything else is actually fine, but there's literally nothing pocket about this camera. It makes for an absolute pain to put it on a gimbal. It's just plain awkward, it often gets in the way. If they could have shaved an inch off the side, it'd be perfect. I hope this quick overview of why the Pocket 4K is still a good choice as your primary camera even 7 years later helped you out in some way. Let me know in the comments below, or maybe even what camera you feel shares the same sort of longevity. And as always, thanks again for watching. Till next time.